Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back to Storytime channel. Today I am going to read The Sudarshan Chakra and the Sage. The story written by the great Sudha Murty. Now, before go to the story, please like, share and subscribe. Now let's go to the story. Ambarisha was compassionate king and an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu. One day, Ambarisha's guru advised him, Sir, I suggest that you perform a fast known as Ekadashi for a period of 1 year. There are approximately 28 such days, and you may start any month. It is certain to bring great prosperity to your kingdom. The famous Ekadashi fast has set of rules that must be followed strictly every fortnight. The 10th day is known as Dashmi, and the 11th as Ekadashi, and the 12th as Dwadashi. Ekadashi must be performed without any food or even a sip of water. On the morning of the 12th day or Dwadashi, the fast must be broken in the early hours of the morning but only at a specified time. This is called the ritual of Parani. For this country's sake, the king agreed and preserved for a year until only the last fast was left. On the evening before the last day of the fast, the famous and short-tempered sage Durvasa came to visit Ambarisha. He was glad to see king's uninterrupted devotion and faith. King Ambarisha invited the sage to attend the breaking of the last fast so that they could eat a meal together. The next morning, Durvasa went with his student to take a bath in the river Yamuna. The rays of the sun had just begun to break through the dark sky, and the world was beautiful and scenery. Once the sage was inside the calm waters, he couldn't help himself and started meditating in the river. He stayed in the water for a long time. The students were afraid to disturb their guru and hence simply let him be as they waited for him. Meanwhile, the time for the breaking of the fast was approaching in the palace. King Ambarisha waited for as long as he could, but there was no sign of the sage. The king knew that he must eat at the night time to ensure completion of the fast, or else all his efforts would have been wasted. And yet he was conscientious about his duties as host. Moreover, Ambarisha didn't want to awaken the sage wrath. The poor king found himself to be amidst a moral dilemma. So he asked his teacher, Guru, please advise me, what should I do? On the one hand, the welfare of my people at stake, and on the other, my duties as a host will be judged. Sir, you must break the fast even though you may refrain from eating. Have 3 tablespoons of water. This will ensure that your fast is broken. Then you can wait until the sage arrives and eat with him. If you follow this suggestion, not only will you complete the entire year of fasting, but you will also not offend your esteemed guest. Ambarisha was convinced it was the right thing to do. He took 3 tablespoons of water in his hand. Just as the king was swallowing the last of the water, Durvasa entered the room. The moment his eyes fell on Ambarisha, he began to yell, "O king, what sort of royal host are you? Could you not wait for your guest to arrive?" "O sage, my actions were not meant to offend you," said Ambarisha humbly. "I am following my guru's advice. Be assured that I haven't eaten any food. I have only had 3 teaspoons of water to complete my formalities of the breaking of the fast. I have done so for the welfare of my subjects. My people are my children, and I must do my best for them. If I hadn't done so, my efforts over the past year would have been in vain. I ask for your forgiveness for offending you. Durvasa, however, did not pay attention to the king's words. I curse you from the depth of my soul, he declared. Dear sage, please calm down and think of the reason for my decision. My choice was indeed limited, the king pleaded with folded hands. Instead, the sage closed his eyes, created an ugly monster with his powers, and instructed him to slay the king. Ambarisha closed his eyes. He knew death was near. He prayed to Vishnu. O Lord, I have been your devotee for as long as I can remember. You reside in my heart and in my mind. You know what my true intentions were. If I have made the right choice, then please protect me. Lord Vishnu, who was already observing the proceedings from the abode in Vaikuntha, immediately launched his powerful and spiked discus, the Sudarshan Chakra. Swiftly the weapon came down to the earth and killed the monster. Then the fierce discus changed direction to Durvasa and began chasing him. Stunned, Durvasa turned and ran for his life. Usually he was the one who scared people and took them to task. This was a new, terrifying, and unimaginable experience for him. The heavenly discus flew close behind him as he ran. The sage sprinted all the way to Vaikuntha and fell at the Vishnu's feet. Please forgive me, Lord. Durvasa begged. The discus hovered near as if it was awaiting Vishnu's instruction. The Lord called off the weapon and warned Durvasa, O sage, learn to restrain your anger. Your powers are of no use if you waste them on multiple curses. An ascetic must be peaceful on the outside as well as the inside. This is a great lesson to all sages who perform penance and end up misusing the powers they are bestowed with. Remember that I will not tolerate the abuse of my devotees. King Ambarisha's heart is as clear as crystal, and he has done nothing wrong. From this day on, Ambarisha's name will be forever be associated with Ekadashi fast, and I will always protect whoever undertakes it. This is how the Ekadashi fast became popular in India and is practiced even today. This is the end of the story. Do you like it? Then comment it and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.